Here at Shady Pines Retirement Village, we don't think that your life should stop when your retirement begins. Therefore, we offer a wide range of activities, including snowboarding and our adventure playground. These activities can be seen to rejuvenate and revivify the residents of Shady Pines.
You might remember that I was telling you in the previous vlog that I've bought some fabric, and I went and I've spent some money on fabric lately. When I came back from while I was on holiday, I got an email from our local fabric supplier in town, in Darlington, and she sells the fabrics inside an indoor market, but she has absolutely an unbelievable amount of fabric, and she had a special offer. She said it was a sale on Bank Holiday Monday, only a one-day sale. So I decided that when I got back from my holidays I had to go, and I'm afraid I spent about £100. I think I actually saved, I think it would have been about 130 or 35 that I would have spent, and I got it for £100. So I'll show you what I got. Start off with this fabric. This was, I just happened to see this in a box behind her counter, and I said, is that someone's order or is it remnant? And she said, no, it's a remnant. So I bought this. Don't ask me prices because I didn't ask her the prices except for a couple. And this is, there's double the amount. I think it was 2 meters. I just said I'll have it. I didn't know how much there was, but there's basically 2 meters. That's the fold, and there's quite a bit to it. There's the fold, and that's the fabric. And it's a cotton. It's a cotton, and it has a lovely orange and black. I think that's gorgeous. What I'm going to do with any of these, I don't know. It's one of the worst things to do, to buy without knowing what you're going to do with it, because you end up amassing a lot of fabric which really, if truth be told, you didn't really need and you didn't really want, but you thought it was a bargain at the time. If I make up this fabric, then yes, it's a bargain. But if I don't, then, and I end up probably next year thinking, what did I buy that for? I don't like it now, then that is not a bargain. That's not saving anything. Your stash is not really worth looking at. So that was the first one. Then because I wanted something to team with it, I've just bought some black cotton, the same weight, just so that I could, if I wanted to make something with it, I figured that they didn't have an orange to match, so I figured the black would do. Then I caught my eye on this. It's a stretch fabric. It's a heavy cotton poplin, and I like that. I thought that was rather nice. It's like a washed out type of a washed out pattern. And I suppose if I really fancied it, if I could make a pair of trousers with it. I got a metre and a, no, unfortunately I think I just got a metre of it, but it is quite wide, so whether I could make trousers out of it or whether my bottom would not compensate for that, I don't know. Or it could be a top, or it could be a bag of some sort, but I like the look of that. That's a cotton poplin. It would be a shame to make a bag when it's stretched. I think there's more potential in something else. Then I got this. This is like a chiffon-y type of, it's a very fine chiffon fabric. Again, I think I just got a metre of most of these. I just kept saying I'll have a metre of that and a metre of that and a metre of that. It's quite thin. I can see the camera through here, so I don't know if you can see me, but it's quite thin. It's black with a like a very pale limey green. Would make a blouse of some sort, and I think that'll look, it'll drape. It will be a comfortable top, I believe. Then let me get those out because they came afterwards. Then I got another chiffon-y top fabric, which is this one, which was, I liked that. I thought that was lovely. a lovely shape drapey one. And just in case I wanted to team it with another colour, again, you know, my favourite teaming fabric is black, so I bought some very fine chiffony black to team with it, so that could team with that if I wanted to, or it could team with that if I wanted to. And then another one, this one is a crepe, and that it could this crepe could also team with this black, and it's in a brownish colour. Now I'm not normally a brown person, but I did like this one. The only thing I've got to be careful of is look at that. If I put that there, I didn't notice until I bought it, but I thought, oh bloody hell. So I think I'm going to have to make certain that the pattern somehow does something that way, or perhaps I shouldn't have picked it. I didn't notice it at the time. It's one of those things you think, oh, I love that, yeah, and you're just looking at that bit and you think, oh, that's lovely, look at the flower on it, I'll go for that. And it's not till you get home and you pull it out and you think, whoa, look at this. Should I be strategically placing this in different places? But again, I can team it with black if I wanted to, and probably make that less obvious that it's got a sylph-like body. maybe as if I made it up with like that. Ladies, where is it? If I made it up, which way is it? There. If I made it up like that, maybe I might look thin and long and slim. I doubt if I would, but one can dream, one can dream. Next one I got was a similar type of thing, like a chiffon-y type thing. It has got lots of stray threads. I like this one as well. Why does that keep going like that? A chiffon, and this is the same, it's a chiffon fabric, a metre again with birds all over. Kingfishers, I think they are, and again very drapey, that's double side, that's double it, and that's single there. So, and I guess another top, and maybe if I have enough material, perhaps a little scarf of some sort. So that is the other one. Then again, this is slightly thick, it's like a crepe, and it is a very thin crepe, not too thin. I don't think you'd have to wear anything underneath it, it's not too bad, but that's a thin crepe. Again, I think I got 1.5 meters. I think quite often I've got 1.5 meters rather than a metre, just to so that I could maybe do something with it other than a top. Then this one. Then I caught my eyes on this one, which is like a black cotton, and it's got a pattern to it, a grey pattern. I bought a black cotton to go with it. The black cotton's probably a bit too much of a contrast. It's if I went with that, it's a bit too much of a contrast, but I figured that I could do something with that. I think I've got 1 meter of that one. Oh no, possibly even 2 meters. It's not very wide. That's double that. I think that was the first one I picked. And I kept thinking, well, what am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with it? And that's probably a very bad thing to do, to pick fabric when you don't know what you're going to do with it. I have boxes of stuffed fabrics that I don't know what to do with. I am into bag making, so possibly that might be a lining for a bag. Then these, I caught my eye on these, and I did see one of the vloggers had made a t-shirt out of it, and I can't remember her name. I'll put it up there, and I thought it was lovely. And I got this one. She had this in the market, and look at that, stripes with seagulls on. Not that we like seagulls, ladies, because they keep dropping things on our heads, and they're quite, in England, I don't know if they're what they're like in America or in other countries, but they are a nuisance in some port towns. But this is enough to make a sweatshirt or a t-shirt. I think I've got a good metre, and it's quite wide. So I should be able to make something substantial out of that. I have to make certain that they're all one way though. It's a one-way design. So you'd have to make certain that you get it all in the one way. Then I did something very similar to that one, which is this one. A very similar fabric, a jersey, a stretch jersey, and this has, I like the colour, I like the grey and the pink and the feathers, so that's the same. It will make a sweatshirt of some sort or a t-shirt. I think that would be nice for the winter. Maybe if you get rid of those winter blues that we get in England. And the last, well, it's not the last one. This one was a fabric. I got the lady, I asked about this fabric, and she told me it was £20 a metre, and I went, oh golly, I don't want to spend that. And then, so I said, no, don't bother with that one. And then I looked at another one, and I said, I'll have that. And she says, well, that's £19.50 metre. And I thought, so nice, I said, go on, then I'll treat myself. And she was just about to cut into this other fabric, and I said, hold on a minute, don't cut that. I said, because that's actually a light colour, and I'm more into darker colours. So I said, I'll have this one instead, even though it's £20 a metre. And it was this one. It's very like the coat, the coat I made. But that is it. It's a stretch jersey. I think it's one of those that have been, I forgot what we call them, certain kind of print that they call it. They're quite expensive because of the way that they're made. It's a jersey that's been printed onto it. And that's the print. I thought I do like that. So I can make a sweatshirt or something out of that one. Then I went to the neighbouring shop, which was Boys, and they had some fabric in Boys that they actually sold in the market for a little bit dearer. And so I thought, right, whoa, hold on a minute, get some of this. And this was £2.99 a metre in Boys. Now I don't know, Boys is a northern type of shop. It does sell fabric. They're starting to sell a bit more, but this is like a chiffon. It's a very soft chiffon fabric with flowers on. It's going to need some sort of petticoat or something underneath, I think, because it's pale blue. It probably won't show up unless you're standing with the sunshine behind you. And if you're standing with the sunshine behind you and you haven't got a petticoat on and you are wearing a thin garment, everybody can see the shape of your legs. Now that's lovely if you are a model with lovely legs. But if you're a little fatty like me and they can see through your dress, they're going to be going, oh my God, can you see what she, oh my goodness, you can see right underneath her dress. So always remember that if it's thin, wear a petticoat. And I'll probably make a petticoat with that yellow one I've got. That yellow cheap fabric from the Lucky Bag. Now then, so that was my purchase from the market shop, and I can't remember what the name of the shop is called. I'll put it up there. And then, as I say, the blue fabrics from Boys. Then, put that all back in there. Then I went mad previously and bought, this was in the sale. And I said I wasn't going to buy online. Well, I bought online, I'm afraid. And this was from So Essential. And it was, what did I get? I can find out how much I got. I got 2 meters. It's leaf print jersey fabric in white, black and lime, and it was £7.08 a metre. No. Yeah, £7.08 a metre. What a strange value, but this is it. It's a leaf jersey and it's lime and black. And I got a good bit of stretch in it. 2 meters, so I've got enough to make probably a top and something else, or a dress of some sort. But I've been eyeing this lime that everybody's wearing, and I'm probably way behind everybody else now. But I thought I'd get that. The next one that I got is someone that Kittenish Behaviour Kittenish Behaviour bought some clasps from this lady, and she has a shop which she runs on Facebook. and I've bought quite a few fabrics from her because I'm into bag making at the moment. And she does cork, especially she does Portuguese cork. I think she's Portuguese to start with. She does Portuguese cork. At least I think it's Portuguese. I know that they say that the Portuguese cork is better than the Chinese cork. It's not cheap, but cork isn't cheap apparently. It's £11. I think it's £11 a half a metre or £11 a fat quarter. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But this lady's called Tanya, and it's Tanya Fabrics. And the latest purchase that I got was this one, which is, I only bought half a metre I think, for the purpose of bag making. I don't know if you can see that. I didn't realise it had seahorses on it, but it is a lovely fabric, and I bought half a metre of that. Probably to make purses or bags. I just really didn't know what I wanted. This one I hadn't realised I'd ordered it, and I think I thought it was cork itself, but it's a cork type fabric, and it's grey with gold in it. It's real, not real gold, but it's actual gold, not yellow. It's gold that's in it, and that could be used for bag making as well. And this next one, now when my husband saw it, he said, "Oh, where did you get that from? Which charity shop did you get that from?" And I got it from Tanya's Fabrics. It is lovely. I liked it on the website, but when I got it, when I received it, it wasn't the colour I expected it to be. It's slightly faded. Well, no, it's not faded, but the design it looks as if it's worn, as if it's faded, but it's not. It's lovely. It's a lovely fabric, and it's also a fleece, and I didn't realise it was a fleece. So it could make a jerkin of some sort for the winter. But by golly, get your glasses on, ladies. It's bees and flowers. Ready, steady, go. Bees and flowers. And there are butterflies as well. Bees, butterflies, bees, poppies, cornflowers, daisies. And it's on a, I thought it was on a black background, but when I got it, it's on like a rusty brown background. I don't know if that's showing up here. It is actually very nice. When my husband said, "Oh, that looks a bit faded," and I said, "No, it's brand new." And he said, and then he looked at it again. He said, "That's very nice." So I think it's another one of those printed fabrics. The only downside to printed fabrics is you can almost see the way that they're printed, because it's in like a squarey pattern. That must be a square. Let's see if I can see it by the. This must be a square. And then this must be a square, and then there's a square. So the pattern must be in such a square format that you actually get a pattern like that. Then, what else did I get? I think that's it here. Don't you think it's enough? Never mind, that's it. What am I going to do with all this fabric? The problem with videos and vlogs is you watch everybody, and then you think, "Oh, I like that fabric, I'm going to get some of that." And then you see somebody else's vlog and you think, "Oh, I like that pattern, I'm going to get that pattern." And then you see somebody else's vlog and you say, "Oh, I like her fabric and I'm going to get some of that." And you actually end up getting more and more and more fabric, until you end up with a cupboard that is bulging with fabric, and you think to yourself, it's almost scary to open a cupboard door and find all the fabric in there. And you just don't know what to do with it all. It's quite daunting, and then of course you have a brace. I haven't had one yet, but I do read that people have a basically. I'm not in the sewing mode. I'm not in sewing mode. I've lost my sojo, and it's possible that you've lost your sojo because you've seen this mountain of fabric building up, and you're thinking, "Oh golly, I don't know where to start." And then on top of that, if you don't do something with it straight away and you go back to it next year or the year after or the year after that, you start thinking, "Well, I'm not as keen on that as I used to be. It's not very nice." And I've got quite a lot of those kind of fabrics in boxes where I've bought them and I thought they were lovely at the time, or they were a bargain at the time. The worst ones are the ones where you get them because they're a bargain. But really, if it wasn't a bargain, you wouldn't have bought them. And so you're not really making much point in getting them, because you're just going to end up with a box full of fabric. And you think back think back of all the money that you spent on it and how much has been actually a waste of money, and that if you'd really saved up or not bothered with that and gone for something you really did want, then you'd probably make better use of it. So one day I shall take you round my fabric cupboard and let you see what I've got. No, I won't. I won't take you round. No, because you'll hate it and I'll hate it. It'll just give me, it'll set me down, it'll send me down further than I, no, forget about that. Forget about that. You won't, I won't do that. I'm not going to show you my fabric store. I've shown you quite a lot here and I have to start thinking of things to do with them. I've got to start making something. But I am making, I'll have to show you some things that I'm making. Currently I have made some bags and some let me think about this.